today. Let me make sure I can go live here. Only capture this on Otter. Let's get the Otter playback on recording before we get started here. All right, let's get this started. All right, we're started there on Otter. Let's see if we're live here on LinkedIn. I don't get the notification yet. Let's just see. Come on here. All right, we're live. Oh. Work around some analysis we did a little bit later on today. Let me make sure I can go live here. All right, perfect. So we are live. Thanks a lot for everybody who's joining. I see one person live here. Let's get some of these notes here. What's going on here? Completely dark. Can't see a thing. Let's just see. Can't see a thing on the screen at all. That's interesting. Oh, now we got it all. All right, that's perfect. You can actually read it through here. So let's test out some of the comments just to see how that's going through. So this is a collective brainstorm, but I've got some work that I'm kind of interested in that I wanted to share a little bit more about today as we were going through. So yes, please say hi. Let's just see. Let's get the comment here. Please, let's get before we get started. Oh, I don't want to caps lock yell at you. Please say hi. See if that's going to show up. Sometimes my LinkedIn comments show up. There we go. We got it. All right. We got that piece here. All right. So we got it. So let's talk a little bit about this straight through processing. So here's the idea. Came up about 10 years ago. It was actually when got the idea. My grandfather passed away. He passed away a couple years earlier, but he had a store for about 40 years, and he was I was just like all that knowledge that he had with the store sort of went with him. So I got really interested in starting to talk about, or starting to think about what it looks like to pass on knowledge to people, and what's a good way to. Hey Tim, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is going to get I'm going to get into something really interesting that might be interesting to you in a second here. Probably take me about 4 or 5 minutes if you can hang out. So it's the idea of how to be able to capture stuff. So that's when we started doing some audio capturing, and now starting to think a little bit more about, how do we take our thoughts, the things that we're thinking about, get them captured quickly. So one way to be able to capture them is like I'm doing right now, doing some audio. Most of the time I prefer asynchronous audio, which is, not live in the period of time, but I'm actually recording this thing on Otter right now to see what we're actually talking about. So you get an idea. You don't want to go to a machine right away. So the thing I've been thinking about this as far as straight through processing, I just start with my set of ideas. I start with a hand sketch, which you can see here. A hand sketch is just a hand sketch, and it's probably it's a written piece of paper to be able to get started. And then I start grabbing some Post-its, because Post-its is what starts moving us into the activity and the action phase of that we're doing. Take an image of this. This is where we start to get it actually digitized. I also create an event on Fantastical, because that does a couple of different things. It makes it a real thing sort of in my mind out in the world. And then I take that image and I take it to Yak, and Yak is yelling across cubicles. Let's get that captured real quickly here. Let me see if I can at Yak here. Yelling across cubicles with images. I take it to Yak, so now I'm starting to clarify my thinking a little bit with we've got the piece of paper that we're starting with, and now we have an audio. And here's where it starts to get a little bit more interesting. I realize ideas. We have no idea which one of our ideas are going to be good, on which ones of them are not going to be good in the background. And hey Tim, if I don't know if you're interested in what you're up to right now. If you are interested in coming on live, shoot me a comment. We can get connected on Clubhouse, and if you are interested. If not, that's cool as well. I'm not sure if you're still even listening to the conversation, but anyway. So now that becomes an audio message. Now, here's the important thing, the Post-it notes. What's beautiful about the Post-it application is it will take your handwritten Post-it notes and it will start to digitize them. So next thing I do is I share the stuff out on social media. That's important, because just like an idea is shared with ourselves. I'm reading Seth Godin's book, which is called Practice, new book on practice. So the mere step of taking audio messages and sharing it out on social media, that is a delivery of work. It's a micro delivery of work, and it's just, and you have no idea. Now it's out there in the world. People can ignore it. People can do something with it. People can do whatever it is that they want to do with it in the in the background. They have, like, it's their option to be able to do whatever they want to do, but it becomes real. It becomes a delivered piece of work at that point in time. That's what I do that. Now I take that audio message, as you said, this one right now, and I put it into Otter. Otter is a transcription tool. I talk about Otter all the time here. I put it into Otter. And now what Otter gives you on the background is it gives you a word cloud. It gives you a transcription. And with that, the transcript is of essays by Seth. Oh, there. Yeah. Have you read it, Tim? I'm just curious. Have you read the book? I'm capturing this comment right here. I'll stay on topic here in a second, and then we can chat here live, or you can come on in a little bit on another day, and we can chat. Otter gives you transcription, word cloud, and highlights. Now that word cloud starts to capture like some of the metadata around some of the stuff that you're actually talking about. The highlights are the things that we want to follow up on later. So I take that into Evernote, and here's where I think it can get really interesting and get really exciting. Speak AI, which is a company that Tim is part of. Let me make sure I get this correct. When you start taking to there, you can take the audio transcripts or video transcripts, and this is what I'm starting doing. And now you can start getting sentiment analysis on this. So I've got a full audio capture. I've been talking about 6 minutes and 27 seconds at this point in time. And now I can start where I was in the past. I would go through and I would create my Post-it notes. I would create my mess, and I still do that because it's important for me to sort of consciously go through the process of figuring out what's important and what's not important. I had it on the table right now. Oh, awesome, man. Yes, I think tomorrow we'll probably do something. I've gone through it a couple of different times, but I think it's an amazing book. Let's just do this. This is about practice, Seth Godin's new book. So get the sentiment analysis that starts running in the background, but it also starts identifying some of the topics. So what I want to use that list for is to start kicking off some workflow, right? Start kicking off some workflow, which can be tasks, they could be projects, or it could just be a little bit of a reference piece, but we can start combining some of these things. And this is the way, it's not idea to reality at the speed of thought, but it's idea to action. And so we've done a couple of different things here. We've handwritten, which we've activated a bunch of our different muscles here. We've done an audio on top of it, which means we're talking about it, which is we're coming at it with a different sense, almost like at a different human being, as we're starting to talk about the tasks and the stuff that we're working about. And now we have the possibilities of starting to be able to create some of the workflows. So here's the, when I start looking at this here, this piece, like the other process I've started to go through, there was a TED Talk. I can't remember. I'll have to find the name of it and the person who created it. But there's talking about drawing. I think it was called Drawing Your Future. Let's call it that for right now. Drawing Your Future TED Talk. So yeah, it's being able to visualize, and I've got to find the name of it. I think it came out in about 2014. Where you can actually start drawing. Now, this is a lightweight drawing for the TED Talk, but it's like, hey, this is a way to have ideas and then turn them into dollars. And dollars can also be equivalent to impact, but it is a great measure of, or not equivalent to impact, but it's a great measure of like some of these ideas had some ideas. So and I've been thinking in modes of 3 at this point in time. So what I want to do, I created the 3 Post-it notes on this one, creating a straight through process using this page, which is what we kind of actually did this morning. Do AA 2.0. AA 2.0 is an exercise from the book Think and Grow Rich, one of Pam Grout's book. I'm a big Pam Grout fan, because another important component is relationship with your subconscious mind, right? Whenever I was reading, what is it called? It's called the law of, my friend Daniel Stone, my friend and coach Daniel Stone was talking about the law of reverse effects, I think it was called. I'm totally butchering the name of the law here. I've got it in, but the thing is, when you work so hard on, when you work on something, it becomes harder, because what's going to happen is when we work in a disempowering way, the imagination takes over, and the imagination is always going to beat your effort in the work that you're actually creating. So before I start talking about something like this, I realize I don't necessarily know it that well. So where is my point? It's like really tapping in and making sure we have good relationship with the did I spell subconscious right? Yeah. It's a good relationship with the subconscious mind as we're working through this. So this is AA.0, whereas I expect and I anticipate something extraordinary and unusual to happen today. Here's the things that I'm grateful for yesterday. It's almost like locking in the victories that we have from the day before. I'm grateful for my new phone. I've got the iPhone. I got the Pro Max. I'm grateful for the snow that's out there. I just got out with my daughter. We just went out for a walk in the woods with the puppy, and grateful just to be able to go live and just be able to share these ideas out and, see who's listening or not listening. Doesn't necessarily make a difference. I mean, it could make a difference to them, but to me, it's like I get to get an idea that was rattling around inside my head, outside the head, and get a chance to potentially be more present out there in the world. So with that, and then what's the stuff that I'm actually going to do today? Time sensitive items. I got a bunch of different things that have to get done before the end of the year. So we're starting to work on that. I moved back to Apple Reminders for my reminders. It's just an elegant UI to be able to work with, and doing a little bit of stuff inside of Todoist for you. Yeah, so Apple Reminders. I might go just full Apple fanboy at this point in time. I also use Fantastical, which is an amazing iOS and Mac calendar. What it does is it integrates all of my different tools. Like some things are integrated with Todoist if you want to be able to create some workflow. Todoist is better for that. Todoist, let me see. Todoist is better for some of the workflow stuff. So Fantastical brings it all together in a very nice way and creates it inside of the calendar. So how do I want to end this? So that was one of the things, the time sensitive items I'm working through. I'm going through my list. So cool. Love innovation, empowerment. Oh, thanks so much, Bianca. I'd love to have you on at some point in time. Oh, let me see. I'm just get this post here. I'm paying attention to the stuff that you're doing. It's amazing where I see what you're doing in Tampa. I see you on the large events. So the city specific innovation stuff, we should definitely chat. These are usually designed to be, to have people come on live. So anytime that you want to come on live. If you're on Clubhouse, typically I run Clubhouse in the back. I just wanted to kind of get through an idea today, but I run these typically concurrently on Clubhouse as well to be able to make some of these things work. So the time sensitive items are one of the ones that we're going through. Burning 1,000 calories on the Apple Watch. It's one of my, you can see the Apple Watch here, 1,000 calories. Here's what's so beautiful about the Apple Watch and the Apple Health app. It runs in the background. Let's just see. Boom. Come on, get that note up there. So let's just talk about this real quickly. Chris Dancy, make sure I'm pronouncing the name correctly, the world's most connected. Awesome. Love it. Beyond. Yes. DM me here. The email address that you might have known me at no longer exists. DM me in LinkedIn, and definitely love to have you on live at some point in time to talk. To talk about this. The design of these is no real plan, not planned guests. We're just doing serendipitous guests as people start to pop on where there is some interest. So definitely love to have you on and chat and just catch up on everything that you're working on. So let me go back to the Apple Health app. Here's what's beautiful about it. Chris Dancy, world's most connected man. I'm just going to say, world's most connected man, talks about what he says, the common phrase is measure what matters. Let me just see, measure what matters. What he's saying is what you make, I'm totally going to butcher this, make what you measure matter. So the opposite of trying to find measures for things that are a little bit tough, measure what matters. So this is here. I make this 1,000 calories burned each day matter because it's being measured in the background. And that's the beautiful thing. Everything I've talked about today takes conscious effort from human beings or systems set up to make them work. The Apple Watch, the Apple Health app just runs in the background. And my job is not to do any of the measurement stuff. My job is to just do the work that is actually being measured. And I think more and more is going to be heading in that direction. So that's what I was, and then do a live. I said I was going to do a live today. So been thinking in streams of 3. Here's the live. We've got it. We've been going on for, I don't know how long it is. We got this thing on Otter. Make sure the Otter is still running in the background. Yeah, 14 minutes and 34 seconds. Thanks everybody for joining into the sessions. If you are interested, these are collective brainstorms. These are jam sessions. Basically, the whole idea is I'm going to talk about something that I'm passionate about most of the time, and then invite on guests to be able to come on. Most of the guests we have coming on, and Bianca, if you're still listening, let me know if you're on Clubhouse. If you're not on Clubhouse, I can get you an invitation there. It's a really interesting way to start doing audio conversations. So if you're on there, I'll connect with you. If you're not on there, we can get you on. And we're doing a bunch of different live events over there too. So collective brainstorms, the whole idea is I come on, talk about something, ideas that are rattling around inside my head that I want to get outside of my head, and then invite other people to come on and share based on who is here, with a real a reliance on serendipity and creating new ways to be able to operate. So thanks so much for everybody who's listening to this. Have an amazing day. I appreciate you. This is one of my favorite things to do in the world. The only thing that has not been my favorite thing in the world is I have to sit in front of my Mac computer to be able to do it. I do love Mac, but I don't love sitting in front of the computer. When these are mobile and can be able to really be able to do this effectively, walking through the woods, that is going to be my absolute favorite thing to do in the world. Have an amazing day. Appreciate you.